Was goody. Back with another one, because you know Raider Nation needed another one. Always feeling good when you got the Raiders on. Always feeling good when you got the Raiders on. Ain't did that in a minute, you Yo, we in the building, man. Salute to everybody. Shout out to everybody, man. We in the building. It's the TheYurpJerz Raiders Podcast. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Always helps the channel grow. This is the early morning wake and bake show session. So, what's goody though? What's goody, man? Good morning to everyone. Frank, first guy in the building. What's happening, cuz? You know what I got? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you ready? Cuz? You ready? You know what we rocking with? I got you, bro. I got you. It's already, look at that. That is a nice joint right there, right? I told you. Frank, I roll the best joints, bro. So chat, man, I want y'all to be the first to know that I'm going for a new job. Now, it's still an overnight job. Everything is, it's 12-hour shifts. Man, hit the joint. I got sleepy. Yeah. So it's a good job. It's a, manufacturing job. Something I've been used to for the last couple of years now and shit. You feel me? So yeah. Like I've been looking, and this one just popped up to me. Now the drive is a little far, but fuck it, right? They offering some pretty good funds. James in the building. Raiders. I'm feeling good, James. So I had to let that out. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I needed that. But like I was saying, y'all, so y'all send prayers up for your boy, man, because I'm praying that I get this job. You feel me? So yeah, I'm really hoping I get this job. This will bring me to what I want. This will take me to what I want to do. And this, I feel like with the amount of pay that they paying, this will help me out, with the podcasting, with the merch, getting the merch and everything. So what's up, Finale? You good, bro? You want to hop on, cut? Right, said purple. That was a good one, cuz. That was a good one, Frank. Nally, what's up, bro? You want to hop on, cuz? Get the bread, yes, sir. Yeah, bro, it's offering some change by like 20 to 2207. So between 20 to 2207 overnight, it's like 5:45 to, I think it's 5:45 to 6 o'clock. So I mean, it ain't bad. I mean, I've done 12-hour shifts before, and it's a 2-2-3 schedule. So it's 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off. You feel me? So I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Overtime is there. You feel me? So I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this will take me to where I want to be, y'all. And definitely not gonna. I'm definitely still gonna be on the same schedule. So y'all niggas ain't gotta worry about this shit. I'm still gonna be getting it in. This will probably make me get it in even more. You feel me? So you know what I mean? Fuck it. I'll go live on the way to the crib and shit. You feel me? It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can have sweets. You know, reading the chat. You know what I'm saying? While you know what I mean, I'm driving home because usually she drives to work and I drive home. So, you know what I mean? I promise this is not gonna stop me from going and doing what I'm doing. I get home around the same time, probably like a little later. You know what I'm saying? I get home around like shit at Whataburger. I get home around like I got home at 8. I got home at like close to 9 o'clock. I clocked out at 8:50. Yo, I was supposed to get off 2 hours later. You know what I'm saying? So I was supposed to get off 2 hours earlier. So yeah, I know where the grind is. You feel me? You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about that shit. Dude. You know what I mean? I'm off today. I picked up an extra shift for tomorrow. I got the interview tomorrow. So you know what I mean? We gonna hope I'm gonna get shaved up and everything. So you know what I mean? Gotta go there presentable. You feel me? Gotta go there presentable. You know, I go jeans with the button up. Yeah, it's like that. So I got juice. Yeah, man, I ain't playing. I'm gonna get this job, bro. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, you know, hopping on, smoking up. You feel me? Hey, Finale, what's up? You got some time to hop on, bro? Or you straight right now? For right now, I'm gonna be on for a while. I'm off tonight, so I'm gonna be on for like 2 hours. I ain't trying to do another 7 hour. Not this early. I'll pass the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Got juice. But I'm telling y'all, bro, it's about to go down. You know what I'm saying? This shit gonna make me go harder, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a little far. It's about a 50-minute drive to work, but you know, it's me and my wife. So, um, you know, because my wife is the job she had really not giving no hours, so she was like, "Well, let me know if you can do that." Meanwhile, I do a lot of things together. You know what I mean? Especially like work, like jobs and shit. So, I mean, I think it's cool. Other people like, how can you work with your wife? Me, I'm cool with it. I don't got no problems. I don't be on no bullshit. You feel me? So she don't be on no bullshit. We just go in there, get the bread, go home. You feel me? Come back, do it all over again. You hear me? So, you know, hold on. This I gotta take this phone call now real quick. Oh, never mind. Guess I don't have to take this phone call. Yeah, I don't know about this. They ain't leave shit. It was probably the wrong number. But anyways, so we don't be caring, you feel me? We don't be giving a damn about that shit. We go home, get the bread, make the bread, come, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with spending more time with your lady, you feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, this really takes up a lot of my time with her, you feel me? But she understands the bigger picture. You know what I mean? That's the greater thing about it, you know what I'm saying, Frank? That she understands the bigger picture of what I'm trying to get out of this. And she understands the fact that if I can get monetized and everything and build this shit up the right way, just build it up. Well, I can say the right way because I ain't building it the right. But anyways, just building this thing up to where she could just focus on her business, and I can continue doing my business with this. I mean, she understands that, so that's the great thing about being able to do this, and as many times I'm going online and shit. You feel me? So, and I did dust them off. So, y'all be. Stand be about it. Anyways, but Frank, yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. You know what I mean? Get you spending more time with the shorty, you feel me, with the lady. So I don't know. But like I said, it's gonna take me place because I ain't gonna lie, I'm penny pinching right now to try to get to these games with this job I got. You know what I'm saying? If I want my goals to be fulfilled, this is things that I gotta do to make it better, probably speed up the process a little, you feel me? So um, you know, like I said, I'm trying to catch up on some things right now. So while I'm doing that, I'm able to, put more bread aside for that. So then when the time comes, if I'm all caught up, boom, I can just send that bread to, what I mean, go grab the stuff, tickets, you know what I'm saying, for the Denver game. Then I gotta turn around and buy tickets for the Eagles game. Then we have to save our money for our trip to, my man Frank just said some OG shit real quick. He says success can be found where preparation and opportunities cross paths. And that's what's happening right now, Frank. You hit the nail right on the motherfucking head, bro. That's exactly what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what's happening right now. So I bro, you put the words right out of my mouth, bro. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Finale already know. We talk daily. That's my brother. You feel me? Like he's from the hood. You know what I mean? But for people like what I mean, like Frank, people that just know me off of here, just to say that means, bro, like you knowing the situation and you watching how I'm coming. You feel me, Paul? So, salute to Frank though, bro. Always salute to you, bro. Hitting us with the haymaker, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not that far from all my goals, bro. You feel me? Like I still have the feeling that I'll be at least 5 to 1,000 before the season starts. Bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I've already put in the work. You know what I'm saying? I'm already putting in the work. The watch time hours is that's nothing. You feel me? Like I didn't jump from 1,107 to 1,110 to 1,177 now. You feel me? So it's like I'm putting in the work, y'all. Like I'm grinding, and I just want to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? how much I'm gonna grind for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I said, this ain't gonna stop. I don't care about nothing. Like nothing is gonna stop me from completing my goals and my missions on here. You know what I'm saying? And the merch might be coming sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I was definitely banking on the end of this year for the merch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna cap. I was definitely, you know, banking on just the end of this year starting to work with the merch. But that can happen even faster now. You know what I'm saying? Now this gig come through, you feel me? Dixon said, what's happening, bro? Appreciate you pulling up. He said, I'm watching the Pete interview. I didn't get a chance to. I'm gonna watch it and then we can talk about it on the next. Matter of fact, I can watch it right now. I can watch it right now. It didn't even pop up on my shit, bro. So that's crazy. That's crazy. It didn't pop up on my shit.
Do not pay your next car insurance bill. Repeat, do not pay your bill yet.
Second. Come into the program and the mentality.
I got it on now, y'all.
Already added to the kind of way that we like to go about it. Landon Roberts has been a big factor for us. Coming in, great attitude guy, great mentality, tough as hell, loves the game, and just brings instant connection to leadership. Jeremy Chin, a magnificent factor. Eric Stokes has already ended up a corner. He just like what he was doing. And so we've had influence from guys. Ian Thomas has had a tremendous camp with us. Kind of feels like he's kind of been reborn, and he's already stout tight end. He gives us a factor. Mostert also attitude, experience, background. These guys they're making a point. And of course, Gino, enormous factor to fit into all aspects of what we stand for. So. There's been an infusion here, and so it's really exciting. Like as you point out for John and I, to put it together. Just as in this drafted this week.
It's live right now. Yeah, I'm watching it. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
They're bringing a profile to us. It gives us a chance to also have a big influence on the roster and all that. And we're really excited. Gary Porter has looked really good. Dante Thornton has looked really good. Both the two offensive and defensive linemen that we took, all four of those guys are factoring in already with athleticism, movement, and attitude. So it's been exciting now, and I kind of hate to see that we got 3 days left. I gotta keep going. Yeah, let's just roll this thing into camp. Yeah, gotta get the fellas a break. So,
right, for sure. Talk us a little bit about Gino and your relationship. How you guys lead together. Had great success with you in Seattle.
We had a big background. For the longest time, Gino didn't play, right? And so it was Pete, Gino, kind of keeping optimism up, and hopeful, and always looking for the opportunity to be that very next play. And Gino just embraced it right from the beginning. I've never been around a guy who was so consistently focused on I could be playing the very next play. And so I've got to be ready. And he did it for years. It took him to his fourth year or whatever before we really got a chance to get him in the game, And so we have a lot of common language and common experiust. Our communication is tops.
I'm trying to get people to sub in the channel, in the chat right now.
Just a freaking
I'm on some gangster shit right now. I'm trying to get people to sub to the channel right now.
With Chip's offense.
The Seahawks wanted to keep Gino. Yeah, I know. Gino wanted to be with Coach Pete. Hell yeah.
He's got such a consistent mentality about the way he competes, the way he practices every day, the way he goes about his meetings. And he's already influenced a bunch of guys, and really positively, without having to be a jerk about it. He just is being Gino. he's there, and we keep him in that, then he's got a chance to be a fantastic player. He's got some issues too now.
Rose Town jumped in.
So Gino and I figured that out, how we can kind of get through the challenges and the hard stuff, so that we can keep ourselves on track, to be really good at what we're doing. And so it's been a marvelous influence.
I know you've been doing this long enough to where very few things are going to surprise you. You learn something new every day, obviously. But coming to this organization, which is different, did you have to lean on any of your old SC guys, maybe even like the Carson Palmers, the Matt Liners, Darnell Bing, Frosty Rutgers, to get a sense of what you were walking into with this organization? Or was it all just kind of,
honestly, I really grew up with the Bay Area guy. And so this has not been a transition, of newness. Al Davis's effect on the game of football and his approach, that was right down just across the bridge. It was just across the way, and so as much as I was a Niner fan growing up, San Francisco born and all that kind of stuff, the Raiders thing was just home base. So that has been more thrilling to be a part of it than have to transition to figure it out. And I know that this is kind of going a little bit too far here in some regards, but Al had principles about the way he built the program. He had his concepts and he had his approach.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
However it happened, I do too. And I have a way that I do what I do. And there's a lot of crossover in our expectations and the standards that we set. Even the style of players we like to play with is very similar. We like guys that can run. We like guys that can run. We like guys that are tall and fast. That's just been something that's been really common. As simple as that is, though, there's connection to that. So just win, baby, is just compete, baby. And there's some things here that really have connected. And so this has not been a difficult transition. It's not been any really expectation, but I'll give you one. To get together with our alums this weekend past, and to see the connection to the past and the commitment that the organization has always made to the players is where it should be. I don't know about the rest of the league. Where I've been, it has not been like this. I've battled for years about trying to make this connection with all of the NFL players, through the league office and stuff. I've talked about it for a long time. That our players deserve to be recognized for all that they put into it, the hardships that they undergo, the challenges, the physical challenge, all of the stuff that they do, and then the fact that we lose our game when we quit playing is an enormous transition for us. And our guys needs to be recognized, just like guys coming out of the military, guys coming out of their businesses. When you're done, sometimes it doesn't feel like it should be done, and so there's a lot of life left here, and so. This organization, really through Al's insights and vision, has really exemplified that. And so I'm hoping we can continue to be a symbol for the league, because it's just the right way to treat our guys.
There's a big department up here with alumni and health and wellness. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah. Everyone means that. Coach, thank you for this morning. Appreciate you calling here. We really appreciate it. You're going to get a chance to hand it off to Gino.
Yeah.
As we're bringing in
Come on in.
Come on, Gino.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Coach.
No, thank you, Coach.
You're the best.
Thanks, really appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Let's go, G. It's all you.
All right. How about this?
Hard to follow. Now it's hard to follow.
How we doing? Great to see you.
How we doing, guys?
Welcome to Media Day, your first year in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This should be exciting for you. We got a little bit of a fan element for the first time, but it seems like your transition has been really seamless. What's it been like for you the last couple of weeks?
It's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. The team's really getting after it. OTAs has been great. I think, our team is right where we need to be. And for me personally, just getting acclimated to the weather, hot out here, getting familiar with everybody in the building, just getting to know everybody. And it's been great, man. I think, the sky's the limit for where we can take this thing, and just looking forward to all the many days of hard work ahead of us.
Yeah. Not only does a quarterback have to kind of understand the playbook and be on the same page with the offensive coordinator, but I really at this time, like leadership and stuff, like what do you do to make sure that you're leading the way that Gino leads?
Yeah, just connecting with all the guys. For me, it's about building relationships and just talking to all the guys, hanging out off campus, away from the facility, just getting to know everybody. Went to many dinners with the O-line. I know they're happy about that. Always paying for those. Just getting to get to know Trey, getting to know Jacoby, all the guys, man. Just us hanging out. That's the main thing. And, just really connecting with the guys and making sure they understand that it's about production. We're here to win now, but it's also about the relationship we build along the way.
Speaking about the relationship.
I hear that. We're here to win now, he said.
Your relationship with Pete Carroll. I mean, you guys go back a ways up in Seattle, obviously, but would you be here if he wasn't here right now? Just how would you describe that relationship?
Yeah, I mean,
you got to chill.
Would I be here if he
Frank.
was, I don't know. That's a great question, but I do know that God works in many ways, in mysterious ways, and for Coach Carroll to be here and for him to have me as a part of this thing and to be able to lead this thing, it's a dream come true. But also, he understands what I'm about. I understand what he's about. It's about how we work every single day. It's the energy we bring to the building. It's everything, the camaraderie that we build here, and most importantly, it's the way that we go out and we play the game, and the way that we practice, and that's something that Coach Carroll believes in. The compete mantra is something that he believes in, and for me as a player, just follow his lead. He's the guy who's leading this thing, and I just got to do my job, and it makes it really, really simple.
Share with us rookie OTAs when you break the huddle and you got Ashton, then you got Jack and Dante before Brock comes in with the veterans and you see Jacoby. What was that like knowing that you have rookie weapons who are going to have an impact right out of the gate?
The great part about it is those guys you mentioned, and there's more, but this rookie class is very mature. A lot of guys who played a lot of football, they understand how to work, and they're pros. They're becoming pros. They're learning. I think Dante and Jack have done a great job of just stepping right in and becoming a part of this team. And we got high expectations for those guys, right? Ashton, we got high expectations for Ashton, but the main thing is that he works and that he follows the leadership of the veteran guys. And like you said, there's guys like Brock, there's guys like Jacoby that you can learn from and you can watch. Michael's been doing a great job at setting the tempo and setting the tone. And so for those young guys, they just got to pay attention to what's going on and just learn from the vets, and they've done a great job of that.
Yeah, talk to us about year two to you right now.
Yeah,
the difference and the expectations, leadership styles, playing styles, skill set. Talk to us about the differences of that young guy and who you are now.
There's a lot of differences. There are a lot of similarities as well, but I think in anything in life, man, growth is important, and experience, like they say, is always the best professional. So I've gained a lot more experience from then to now, and I've seen a lot. Been coached by a lot of great coaches. Been around a lot of great players.
Yeah, y'all let me know if y'all can hear it
every single step of the way. So for me, it's just about as I get older, I continue to get better. You want to age like a fine wine, but also, just keeping that youth. And I think Coach Carroll does a great job with his spirit and just the way that he goes about things and brings his energy. And so for me, it's just keeping that youth. And I feel great. I don't feel a day over 25. I feel like I can do this thing for at least another 10 years. And so my goal is to continue to take it day by day and just stay focused on, being in the present.
You spoke recently that you actually revered Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. Now you guys are together. He recruited you coming out of high school, back when he was coaching in college. How would you describe what a Chip Kelly offense is going to look like this coming fall?
Yes, sir. I think, Coach Kelly has done a great job throughout his career at adjusting to the players that he's had. And so Coach does a phenomenal job at figuring out what we do best as players and then implementing his style onto that. You saw when I remember watching him when he was at Oregon, when I was coming out of high school, and it was, the spread attack, and they, did all these, sweep schemes and runs, and the RPO game was just being introduced to college football, and he was spearheading that. And then, you saw when he went to the Eagles, and he had Nick Foles, he had Mark Sanchez, he had Mike Vick, all different styles of quarterbacks who he was able to get great production from. And then you saw just this past year with Ohio State, right? They got all these great players, and they all were able to touch the ball and do their thing. And so Coach has done a great job of just making sure that whatever we're best at, he's going to make sure that we go out there and we're able to execute it. And he's very he's very good with that, and does a great job of just figuring out what we can do and then putting us out there and putting us in the best position.
Yeah, and I always talk on the pregame show about playing faster and playing with a purpose. kind of a point guard for this team to get in and out of the huddle.
Yeah.
For you to be so good at reading the defense and changing the play if you have to and get into an explosive play. Are you excited about that with these weapons? Just
Audio is good. I bet, Frank.
Quicker, faster, defiant, and take what you want to take going downfield.
Oh, for sure. Like I always say, we want to be explosive, but we want to be efficient. You
over here networking in the chat, throwing the channel in the chat.
The goal is to get 10 yards before you get to the end zone.
People
right?
can,
So you just got to get 10
sub
yards
to
at a
the
time.
channel while
And
here.
when we get those opportunities, when there's the right coverage and we got the right matchups, we'll take our shots and we'll, I think I've been pretty good with that throughout my career. But, the main thing is that we're efficient, right? You want to be great on first down. You want to be great on second down, and then you want to master third downs because that's where you win the game. And then you really want to score touchdowns in the red zone, right? Because that's what separates the good from the great team. So for me, like you said, man, we want to take chunks, and we got all these superstar players that are going to do all these great things and gain all these yards, but it starts 10 yards at a time.
Roy, for your game, what's the best part of your game? That's what we're going to see each Sunday. It doesn't matter when you wake up in the morning, you know that part of your game is going to be on. When you go to bed, you know it was a great day. What's your best skill set?
Yeah, I would say two things. Number one, I play the game from the neck up. So, like, the mental side of the game is something that I've, really always taken very seriously. And as I've gotten older, like anything, it's gotten easier.
Yeah.
And, I'm able to process faster. I'm able to see things faster. And then my accuracy. That's to me, my superpower. I can throw a really accurate, really catchable ball, and the goal is to complete passes. So that's the main thing, is to make sure that I'm on time, I'm delivering the ball to the right guy, making the right reach, and then I'm throwing them a catchable ball so they can catch, get upfield, and score a lot of touchdowns.
As the guy playing the most important position in all of team sports, quarterback.
Hey.
Talking about cornerback. Not only how would you attack a Hall of Fame quarterback, but how fine is that line? Like you were talking about earlier, you want to be explosive, you want to be efficient. How fine is that line between taking what the defense gives you and taking what you want?
Yeah, it's a very fine line, and I think they go hand in hand, because if you're taking what the defense gives you, ultimately is what you want, right? You want to have a successful play, and you want to not waste any downs, and you want to have, make sure that each play, because you don't know which play in the game is going to be the play that wins the game. But each play that you have on offense has got to make sure it makes sense, right? You got to do the right things, given the situation. So we talk about situational football a lot. We talk about how to master the situations, what to expect. I spend my offseason studying these defensive coordinators, and I get to know them like their middle linebacker does. So when I go out there, I want to be able to anticipate what they're going to do. They can always change what they do, but to have a plan and a process and to be able to anticipate those things, it's what makes playing quarterback fun for me. It's the chess match, and as you get older, you're taking what you want, but you're also taking what you get.
You're a leader in a team sport, but individually, we saw this last year in Costa Mesa. Max comes to training camp looking for Rex. Like, he cares about the defense being up. And last year, he was just a monster, and that's coming again. So when you guys pull up, or he's here or you're here, you start that day. Max Crosby, what's that relationship been like?
I love it. I want Max to go out there and rec practice every single day, because iron sharpens iron, and the harder it is in practice for us on offense and defense, the easier the games will be. So whenever I'm going against Max, I know I got to move my feet, right? You can't just sit back there in the pocket. He's coming off the edge, so it helps us as quarterbacks. You got to slide within the pocket, and you got to have those tight, quick footwork to be able to get the ball off, especially against those great pass rushers. And so, if you can play in a confined pocket and with pressure, then I'm pretty sure you can play without it. So, as long as Max is bringing that pressure, and all the guys, as long as they put that pressure on us, and we'll put that pressure back on them as well, it'll make for a great team.
The fan base, I mean, it's just crazy, right? The fan base,
love it.
Best in the league. So how have they, kind of adopted you, and what have you done with the fan base?
It's a work in progress. That's the one thing that I'm very excited to do, was to really get out in the community and really get to know these fans, and really just engage myself in the fan base. But it starts with making plays on that field. Something to be excited about, right? Win a bunch of games and make a lot of plays on the field, and really get them excited.
Shit.
Here's the secret top sports bettors are using to win their parlays. I used to think I was cursed because I've always been my friends.
It's been in the league for a while, but you still have a lot of tread on the tires, so to speak, because you didn't play for a long time in the middle there as well. And some of the names, and we were talking about this earlier, they kind of come to mind as far as being a Raider historian. The Jim Plunkett's, Rich Gannon's.
Dang, I hit 200, y'all. I hit 200.
You're going to be yourself. Or do you kind of lean on those?
Your boy hit 200, son. Your boy hit 200.
I know about all those guys.
My bad, got some issues at work. I'm trying to get right, but I'm listening. Hey, your boy hit 200. Now,
I got to meet Jim Plunkett, got to meet his wife. Very, very nice people. And
oh shit.
So, for us, for me, just coming into this organization, get to meet these people and get to know everyone, and also, like you said, being myself, is very important. But I'm a historian, football historian, so I've tried to do trivia on all the best players of in the silver and black. So it's something that I'm really, really invested in.
Last one, I love what you just said. You get it. I feel like this is your moment. You've already had a really good career. You've had Pro Bowls, you've had a lot of success, but I'm just sensing from talking to you on the radio and today that you get how big this is for you and your legacy to take this team back to the promised land.
Yeah, and a thing about that is having great perspective for me. I think I love football to death, man, but like legacy to me is defined off the field more than on the field. But yeah, we want to go out there and we want to win games. I'm super competitive. I hate to lose. I hate to throw incompletion. So, I'm out here trying to win every single chance I get. And for this organization, more importantly than for myself, for my teammates, for the organization, for my coaches, for these beautiful people that work in this building, for the chefs in the kitchen.
Nice.
It's important that we all win here.
Thanks for doing this.
Hey, I'm just throwing my stuff in the chat, Frank. I'm just throwing it in the chat, bro. I appreciate everything, man. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Cheers, my brother. 200, bro.
Hey, we've been waiting. It's just a game. It's passion. It's time to suit up, Raider Nation. We all bring silver and black. It doesn't matter. Here at the Raider Image, you're part of every hat. Let your loyalty show up.
Hey, Rose Town, your boy just hit 200 subs, bro. Your boy just hit 200 subs, my guy. Your boy just hit 200 subs, my guy. I know you see me. I just throw my shit in the chat. I just throw my channel in the chat. I know you see me.
We got Pete Carroll. Go.
Rose said, congratulations, much deserved. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to hear that. The next 200 will come faster. Nah, facts, brother. Nah, facts. Appreciate it. I'm just in this Raiders chat. I'm in the Raiders John chat. Just throwing my what's the name? So hopefully they keep.
Being here in person. Oh, there's so much. Chance for me with our coaches I've met for all morning. My defensive staff, we're evaluating the player. See guys how we interview them and all of that, putting together, keeping us all going. And we're just, it's the Raiders in 2025 in the best possible way. Manager, it feels like John was ready for this 2 years.
Well, no, I got it. It's like messing up, so I gotta redo it. There we go.
This is how my boyfriend plays Ray Brush. He is such a noob. He always places his defenses all the way down here near his island. And
You've got Tom Brady as well as Pete Carroll, two guys who we know they've been a part of winning programs. They know how to build this thing.
Pete Carroll, would they be in the market for one of these running backs?
There's a lot of quarterbacks here. They put a lot of hard work in, but I know what I bring to the table.
We're gonna talk about this when this come off and shit. Like when this goes off, we're gonna talk about this too.
There's no better way to build a team fast than through the draft, and it requires you to get good players. They don't necessarily have to be like big-time starters, but they got to be contributing players in the middle rounds and into the later rounds. You know, it's the scouting staffs, personnel departments, the football organizations that find really good players in the second and quality players in the third, fourth, and fifth. You really can distance yourself from the other teams if you can do that, and that's what we're built out of Tampa. And we got to find a way to do it in Vegas now too.
The Raiders Emmy Award-winning docu-series Behind the Shield is back. The latest episode is available now on Raiders.com and on the Raiders official YouTube page. Welcome back, everybody. We are live from Raiders Media Day. Paul Gutierrez, Eric Allen, and we bring in the general manager of the Silver Black. Let's hear it, Raider Nation, for John Spytek.
Thank you. Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of that going on, John. We're really proud for him.
Me too.
He was a broadcaster with this. And describe him as a player from back in the day.
My age.
Yeah, I remember more with the Eagles more than anything. I probably shouldn't say that here, but yeah, one of my favorite players to watch growing up. Just admired the courage he played with, the energy, and I mean, what a fantastic athlete. So,
Got that great front,
yeah.
Reggie White,
Jerome Brown,
Jerome,
yeah.
Made my job a lot easier.
You made a hard thing look easy. I always have a lot of respect for that.
How's it been for you so far? Coming off the draft, we just watched the feature of you developing this roster, getting through the combine, and now OTAs. What's the journey been like for you personally?
It's been amazing, really. Everything that I hoped and wanted it to be, and to come to a good organization like the Raiders and be part of Raiders Nation has been a true for me. But to get to know all the people in the building, to work with Pete every day, post draft, to have a chance to add some people from around the league.
They still was good.
I really respect.
Bro said, "You're what it looked like, my fella. Man, bro, I just hit 200 subs, gang. I just hit 200 subs." Bro said Jair Alexander got released. He would be a solid pickup on that. I mean, yeah. See, that's something I'm talking about. Like Jair Alexander, I won't mind because he got released. And he might not cost that much. So I'm cool with that.
Everyone has a formula, right? So you're trying to either size or see something pops up on film. Can you talk to them about what are some of those things that you came into the building with as far as, hey, this is the kind of player that I think needs to be on the Raiders?
Yeah, we're looking for people like yourself. A love and a commitment to the game, and I think it stands out when you watch tape. I've gotten actually really good in my career when I watch college tape in the fall, for instance. I often don't read the background of the players before you read it. You can actually guess it when you watch them play. There's a spirit and a passion and energy that the great ones play with. When you watch Ashton, when you watch Jack, those guys play like they love the game of football. We're looking for smart, instinctive football players too. The game, I would say, like naturally makes sense to them too. There's probably times you came off the field and what happened? I just felt it. I just knew that this was coming. Well, why? Maybe I don't have a good answer for that, but it doesn't matter. You make a play, and when that matches up then with the character that we talked to Pete and I've talked a lot about, competitiveness that is essential. If you want to be a part of this program, you're going to have to love. You want to come out here and practice, and work, be in the weight room every day. And we just tried to, in the first draft here with 11 picks, we tried to fill this roster up with as many of those guys as possible.
John, I had the opportunity to interview you literally within minutes of you making the call for Ashton Genty. We were upstairs up here when I interviewed you, and when you came out of the draft room, I could literally sense the adrenaline still pumping through you, coursing through your body, the excitement that was there. How do you maintain that throughout this this period of time when there's no games to win, there's no competition to be won or lost, but there's still the carrot at the end of that. That's it.
Well, one thing, we're always competing.
Frank said, remember this, the thin part of the off season. Once the games start, you're going to explode. Yeah, I know, bro. I appreciate it. That's what a lot of people's telling me right now. Mystic said, you're 200 subs tough. You're going up 20 on bro. Yeah, man. That's because of y'all, man. Y'all keeping me in the algorithm and shit.
That's 22 years. The best people I've been around, the players, the coaches, the scouts, the GMs. There's an unrelenting quest to every day make the team better, and that's my job here now. Is to every day.
And I'm spamming my channel in the chat, so
it's a job.
Maybe that's helping too.
Just had Coach Carroll on. I would think for you as a first-time GM, it's got to be kind of perfect to have that competition and energy guy with a track record like that as you come together to build this program.
Yeah, there's a peace of mind to it that we can just give him and the coaching staff the kind of players that will succeed in this environment. The rest is going to be taken care of. He has a formula. He has a process. He has a program. It's been successful for years across college and the pros. There's a confidence that comes with that. I can lean on him for a lot of things that, as a first-time general manager, hey, what have you seen in the past? What's the right way through this? At the same time, he's been a great partner in that he listens to me and understands that, like, I have a background. I have things that are important to me. And I've also been a part of really successful organizations as well. And, the back and forth that we have and the way we support each other has been great so far. But to have a guy like Coach Carroll, that's probably the number one question I get when I go home. I was just home in Wisconsin over the weekend. What's Coach Carroll like? He's great. We brought my high school coach out here and introduced him in front of the team. Awesome. Invited him in and, hey, what can you learn? What can I teach you? And just I love him to Pat. A little bit with the game of football. How I describe Pete, and I always want to be around people that share the same mindset.
Yeah, he really does love the game. And so, as a GM, the most important thing is have a head coach you believe in and a team you believe in. Check, you got that. In the quarterback situation, you have a quarterback who's fun, who everyone feels comfortable with, who's a veteran, get it done. On the other side of the ball, you have the defensive guy who's one of the faces of the franchise, one of the best players in the National Football League. But those three key components all kind of intact. As a GM, what's that next?
He said, "You're the popping game, man. It's that 100. I appreciate it, bro. I'm trying to make it better and better, bro. You feel me? And I got some more good news too. So I got an interview for this job tomorrow. Hey, what's happening, Shay? Appreciate it. Appreciate you pulling up. Thanks for pulling up. I'm playing an interview right now, like I'm playing something on here, so the whole chat is listening.
I just look at it from the standpoint of team building. Every day we got to figure out how can we add to that? How can we make Gino's life as
and I just hit 200 subs too.
Knowing that it is the hardest job in sports, in my opinion. So how can we surround Gino with a great offensive line so he can feel comfortable and confident that I'll be protected?
I ain't gonna lie, Spy Tech talking that work though.
In Ashton now, where it's not all
Spy definitely talking that work
to make every throw and every play. Like he can have some mental breaks, right? Like run around and run power and hand it out. There it goes for 15. Okay, I can take a break in that moment. And then how can we support Max in a similar fashion? How can we surround Max with a lot of great players so that people can't focus on him? Everybody knows Max is a great player, but we've got to have other guys around him that can help Max get one-on-one matchups and come to life. And I think we did that. We got a lot of guys we added in free agency, guys we added in the draft, that big-time Raider players here in a year or two.
Appreciate it,
John, to bring in that veteran presence, especially a linebacker with Landon and with Devin White, to bring in guys that are veterans but not necessarily have the experience of being in this building to bring what they bring as well.
Well, I mean, huge, because I was a linebacker, so I'm partial to that position. It's serious there, If we don't have two linebackers, I feel like we're not doing a good job.
Y'all keeping me in the algorithm, man. For real, y'all keeping me in the algorithm.
Different skill sets, but there's a veteran presence to both of them that is calming in a way. They've kind of been there before. They've seen a lot of it, and that's good for the room. That's good for the defense. It's good for the young players like Tommy and Cody at that position as well. And again, like they're accredited
good football players in the NFL, and hopefully then come in and play like they've played in the past, and maybe even better.
Let's dive into your offensive line as you try to improve it. You brought in new players. When you look at the draft, the young guys coming in, and this competition that we hear a lot with Coach Carroll, where everyone's competing every practice snap to try to start or to try to be that first guy in off the bench. What's that development been like in that world?
Well, I think it's been great. We've added Alex Kappa, who obviously I was familiar with from our time in Tampa before he left us and went to the Bengals for a couple of years. And then the 2 draft picks, obviously, at the end of the 3rd round. Again, competition, load it up, make people earn jobs. Nothing should be given to anybody here. Maybe there's a few guys that we all know are going to start, but the more rooms that we can have where it is a legit competition every day, the cream will rise to the top there. And
yes,
I saw firsthand in 2023 in Tampa when we brought in Baker Mayfield. Nothing was promised to Baker other than a chance to compete, and in a room that Tom Brady had just left.
Yes, sir. Finally, we up there, bro. We're getting up there.
Competition for the better part of 3 or 4 weeks of training camp until Baker finally established himself, and off he went. But that was better for the team. That was better for the room. And the whole line is the ultimate position group to me. Like got 5 guys working together. There's a synergy between those guys when it's going well that goes far beyond the football field. And so to add Charles and Caleb to that room where you need guys, you need bodies. Yeah. You can take 8 to game day. They got to be able to do a lot of stuff. It's a tough spot to play. There's always injuries at that position. You need to have depth at that position. So push the guys that are here. Maybe they win a job, but if not, they're the kind of guys that'll be ready to step up and play if needed this year.
You heard him? Y'all heard him?
Isaiah played a lot last year, and then Jeremy just so.
His six said, "What's happening?"
All 3 levels. Talk to us about
he said,
that.
"Salute."
They got to be the tallest.
Triple salute.
Jeremy's the shorter one at 6'3".
Yeah.
But Jeremy was somebody that we really liked in the free agency process. The way that Pete envisions defense being played, the big nickel role that we will have here, the versatility of Jeremy because of his athleticism and intelligence is really something that's interesting. And Isaiah, really a player that's kind of been on the come here for, last year really in particular, and somebody that I was really happy that we were able to get, a 2-year deal with going into his restricted free agency year. So those 2 guys have been great. Adding Lonnie Johnson to that room, he's another tall safety, which is fun. And then, Thomas Harper and Chris Smith are 2 guys that are doing a good job so far in camp too, and that really give us a lot of depth in that room. And then allow, if Jeremy, for instance, is going to be the big nickel, well, he can't be the big nickel if there's nobody to play either the true safety spots. And so to have that depth and allow the freedom and the versatility within our scheme has been really a great thing to see come alive.
On the personal level, you spent a lot of time paying your dues. And we joked about it before. Decades. Okay, 2 decades.
Don't do that to me.
I've been covering this team for 2 decades too. So, but from your perspective, how much more rewarding is it to be sitting in that seat now for the first time and to be able to be that yin to Pete Carroll's yang in terms of completing
wow,
the picture,
what's happening, brother?
As a first-year GM after paying
Appreciate
all
you
those
pulling
dues
up.
and learning.
I'm hearing Jair Alexander. Me too.
What I would describe
Me too. See, I'm liking that more. I'm liking that deal more than Jalen Ramsey because he's already a free agent. You know what I'm saying? So
I have an appreciation. Like I am where I'm supposed to be right now, and everything that I was able to be a part of and accomplish up to this point in my life has brought me here, and I feel more ready than ever. Could I have done this 3 or 4 years ago when I first had some interviews? Yes, I think so, but I am where I'm supposed to be, and I have a foundation, I have a confidence, and I appreciate everything that got me here. All the people along the way that worked with me, all the things I had to do, all the time I spent, in Hampton Inns and Fairfield Inns across the country.
Shout out.
The time, yeah,
Twice.
The time away from my family, which was hard, but in a sense, I feel like I can look at a lot of people and be like, in the scouting department in particular, I've been there before, I've done that. I know you're 35 and you're hungry and you're ambitious, but just stick with us here.
He's 28, yeah.
Will come, and when it does come, you'll be much more prepared, and you'll have a chance to work with somebody like Pete Carroll with the Raiders organization.
John, last one, when you're around town, you meet these fans. It could be at a golf course, it could be grocery shopping, whatever it is for your family. What do you think? It's a different fan base. It's a global fan base. You've embraced it. What are your expectations for this fan base coming into the home season at Allegiant?
Well, my first expectation is that we put a team on the field that they can be proud of and that they want to come support every Sunday. And we fill Allegiant up with as many Raiders fans as possible.
Talk that shit, Spy.
We've
Talk
earned
that talk.
That right, I think, to have that expectation. In terms of being a part of this fan base, it's the only thing
Nah,
compared
I'm
to.
telling you.
I mean, I've been a part of some great franchises.
Now he said definitely,
but it's been special.
definitely
I had
more.
a lot of friends that, they're Packer
You know
fans
what
in
I'm
particular
saying?
because of where I grew up, and they've already kind of made the transition, which is really, you have to be probably from Wisconsin to totally appreciate that. But I've had friends tell me they're in Costa Rica and they're in Europe and they're wearing their Raiders gear, and people will come up, locals will come up and yell Raiders at them, and nobody's ever done that with any part. I've been, no one did that in Philadelphia or Tampa Bay or Denver or some great organizations. So it hits a little bit different, and I think I learned that every day. It's really special. I feel really honored and humbled to wear the shield and to wear the silver and black.
Thanks for doing this, John. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Man. I appreciate you guys.
How about that for Media Day? John Spytek. Much more to come on this special edition of Raiders Roundtable presented by America First Credit Union, live from Raiders headquarters.
Rose Town.
All right, everyone. So the next stop on our tour will be our 3 Super Bowl trophies.
Yeah,
the first
I got
2
it.
while we were in Oakland, and our 3rd while we were at the Los Angeles Raiders.
I hope so, because I've been putting my shit. I've been putting my channel in the chat. Law Dog, I seen you in there, bro. I want to apologize. I couldn't answer your phone last night. I went to sleep, bro. I couldn't talk. I went to sleep, and I woke up at 10 o'clock when I was supposed to do it. So I was already late. Look. Law Dog. Law Dog. Law Dog.
Raider Nation, what band?
So how y'all liking these interviews so far, man? I ain't gonna lie, I like Spytek. I like Spytek a lot. Law Dog, I hit 200, bro. 200 subs, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Yo, Rose Town, they definitely talking their shit. Spy, I think, really talking though. Spy was really talking. Oh, my nigga from now in the building.
What's good?
Nolly.
What's good, man?
You
Mr.
working,
200.
bro? I'm working.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Look, I was just throwing my shit in the chat, bro. I was just throwing my shit in the Raiders chat, bro, while they was doing it. And then next thing, some told me to go check it real quick. I checked it and boom, 200 popped up.
Whose channel you on, Law Dog? Where your wrench at?
You might be on your channel.
He might be. I don't really be going on the ground and adding shit in.
You see what?
I said I don't really even be going on my drawing like that and be doing nothing on there.
Oh, for real?
He might be on mine. Because he ain't got a wrench.
Nah, facts. He's definitely on yours.
Dang. I don't even know if I can go out of this joint and hop.
Yeah, chat. I'm trying to get some more people up in here, chat. Trying to get some more people, man. No. Yeah, I'm trying to get it in.
You accurate insights where you'd have like 7 or 8 catches in a quarter and a half, and then you'd have a half where like 1 or 2. Can that be more consistent? And again, I think if you assume or hope that Geno Smith is more at that spot, then you're going to expect that you're going to get more consistency. But man, oh man, was he explosive on Nicole last year.
Yeah, and last year, it wasn't about, they were throwing the ball to him in certain aspects. He was dropping it. He would just go without any targets for several quarters, and JT and myself were sitting like,
well, JT's always sitting behind us in the third quarter.
Right,
and he's passing me notes. It's like 5th grade, it's like 10th grade, it's like here's a note, here's a note. And I don't actually want to read what it says on those. But yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, you have a great spot, to kind of view the game, from that aerial view. What did you see instantly or in the first couple of games that kind of separated Brock from everyone else?
Well, it was last summer, right? I mean, because if you think about what Brock Bowers did in Georgia, how many tight ends in the history of the game have been given a handoffs, right? And rushing touchdowns, let alone given the handoffs and breakaway speed to get away from everybody. And we saw that in training camp last year.
Right.
He was getting plays like that. And then we saw but it was the Baltimore game. The comeback in the Baltimore game where Devontae Adams in the early part of the season where he was still here, and then Brock Bowers, you saw what those two could have been together because they were both unstoppable. That's why they were able to come back against the Ravens, and then from there it just took off.
I think what's interesting also, and little self-pub here for Raiders.com, is the column I wrote on Brock Bowers going back to school to get his degree.
Yeah,
literally that. Yeah, the cool thing about that was it was literally the day after the Raiders season finale. Classes started back up in Georgia. He took about a week and a half. He told me, I was able to catch up soon enough. But he took a week and a half off, went back, got his degree, walked across the stage, and then 2 days later was back here for OTAs. What does that say about his commitment to going forward and continuing to improve himself, not only on the field but off it?
Well, it says he wants to finish. And I think that's I think one of the great aspects, and you're a Hall of Famer, so you could probably speak to this. But one of the great attributes of the all-time greats in the history of whatever the sport is, they don't stop. Like, they don't end at any spot. They keep going until at a new spot, and then their new trajectory, and they finish at that, and then they go again. I mean, the guy wanted to get his degree. The guy wants to break another record. And who knows what other records are out there? Someone asked me a couple weeks ago, like, what do I expect in year 2? And it's really hard to set expectations after you broke the record, because you're almost setting the expectation to fail. Because if you have 112 catches, how do you? I don't think you get 120, right? But that's almost unattainable. So what can you do to then up it up even more? And I guess we'll find out over the course of the next couple of months.
Let's jump in and get into Max Crosby and the impact he had. He got shut down at the end, had the surgery, start the healing process. And as you can see him here today, he's just, again,
I'm adding y'all up, Rob. I got you.
Defensive side.
You say what?
Expectations
Rob and Law Dog is both on my channel. Like, where the hell are damn wrenches go? They thought you demoted them.
You say what?
Rob thought he got demoted. He said, "Where is wrench at?" They was all up on my channel.
He plays like a Raider, and he's having a Hall of Fame trajectory in his career.
Okay, Law Dog, it came. Law Dog, it came.
Nobody wants to be
Bro, if you ever spell my name like that again, I'm coming to Idaho.
What that Joe say? He say Yerp?
No, it says Jobtay.
Not
Jobtay. Goddamn. Nigga had the only letter he had was
N,
right.
J, and O.
O. That's the only letters he had right. All the rest of them was, I don't know where the fuck he got that from. So
he said you be working. He gonna call you Jobtay.
So I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to Village. Y'all can see.
Got that drawing right on your 200 subscriptions too.
Right, that's crazy. You better not have broke my shit too. Fuck me.
And this defense, like we talked about last year, they have to get special. Cameron's got to see it last year. Played snap together, charging people on it. Then there was a replacement. They played okay, they played well at times. But then the back got hurt, right? Marcus Epps, Corey Bennett, they all went down. So it never was something we ever really got to see. This is a three-based back, right? We don't really know
y'all ready to see the back?
He's going to look like for this group.
One.
A couple of guys, and Isaiah Polamalu and Jacorian Bennett, who showed a lot of really good flashes last year, but also Jacorian was hurt.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that we know what this defense is going to look like.
Yes, sir.
The size, the length. I mean, just walking around here today, everybody looks
hard.
It's nice, right? Now that I'm 41, going on 42, and everybody's
Put my joints in my
no doubt, especially that's what we John Spidey put out. Biggest group of safety figure too. I know. I asked him over there. He's a lot taller than I reckon. Number linebacker. I'm telling what Larry just asked you about.
That's what's up.
Offensively, a lot of questions, I guess, about the offensive line. And yet, at this stage, entering mentoring,
y'all can see
literally pencil in a starting
the Ashton Genty is there.
I'm not asking for a starting five, but what do you see?
Shout out to my man Law Dog for the gift.
Well, I do think there's battle stuff.
Shout out Law Dog for the gift, man.
But I don't think it's settled. I think you definitely have full options in the middle of those large positions.
Definitely going right here, Law Dog.
But that's what these guys want, right? I mean, that's what Pete Carroll talked about. That's what John Spidey.
Shout out to my
bro for lunch. Shout out Law Dizzy. Shout out to 300.
Yes, sir. Shout out Law Dog, man, for the gift. You might as well say he got me that gift for reaching 200, so I appreciate you, bro. It's much love, my brother, and I love the gift, bro, for real.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna hit you up tonight.
I bet I'm off tonight, so I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm probably gonna go for another probably like 2 hours, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up, and do it again. So.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely be on tonight.
I bet.
All right,
peace.
And I think that's good. But